Have you ever walked into a room and then stood there wondering why you came in? Or maybe you've put your glasses down and minutes later couldn't remember where. If you're over 60, you may have thought, oh no, is this the beginning of memory loss? But here's the truth. What you're experiencing might not be permanent memory loss at all. It's something called memory fog. And the exciting news is, there are 3 everyday foods that can help clear that fog instantly, sharpen your brain, and make you feel more alert again. And today, I'm going to share them with you. Let me tell you about Mary, a 66-year-old grandmother from Florida. Mary was energetic and loved spending time with her grandkids, but she began noticing troubling changes. She'd forget names, repeat stories, and sometimes even leave the stove on. Naturally, she feared the worst, Alzheimer's. Her doctor assured her it wasn't dementia, but what's called age-related brain fog. Her brain was simply not getting the right nutrients it needed. Mary was skeptical when she was told to add a few specific foods to her diet. But within just a few weeks of consistently eating them, she noticed her mind felt clearer. She could recall things faster, and she felt confident again. And here's the best part. These weren't expensive supplements or some exotic superfoods from across the world. They were simple, everyday foods you can find in any grocery store right here in the US. In fact, you probably already have one of them in your kitchen right now. Imagine being able to sit down and remember phone numbers again, recall stories from your childhood with ease, or simply feel sharper when you're driving. That's what these foods can do. So, if you've been worried about your memory, or if you're tired of feeling like your brain is in a fog, stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what brain fog is, why it happens after 60, and reveal the 3 foods that erase it naturally. And I'll back it up with research from Harvard, UCLA, and the National Institute on Aging. So, you know, this isn't just another internet trick. But before we reveal those foods, it's important to understand what memory fog really is. Because once you understand the root cause, you'll see why these 3 foods are so powerful. And I promise, when you hear about the 3rd food, you'll be shocked it hasn't been recommended to every senior already. Let's start by breaking down what senior memory fog actually means, and why it becomes more common after the age of 60. Now, let's clear something up. When we say memory fog or brain fog, we're not talking about Alzheimer's or dementia. Those are medical conditions that need professional treatment. Brain fog is different. It's that cloudy, sluggish feeling in your head when your thoughts just don't come as quickly as they used to. Maybe you lose your train of thought mid-sentence. Maybe you're reading a book, but you have to reread the same paragraph because your mind drifted. Or maybe you feel mentally tired even if your body isn't. So why does this happen more often after the age of 60? Scientists say there are a few key reasons. 1. Blood flow to the brain slows down. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen, which means less oxygen and nutrients reach our brain cells. Without that constant fuel, the brain slows down. 2. Nutrient deficiencies. Seniors often don't get enough vitamins like B12, omega-3 fats, or antioxidants. These are critical for keeping brain cells sharp. 3. Inflammation, chronic inflammation. The same thing that causes arthritis or joint pain also affects the brain. It makes neurons less efficient. 4. Stress and sleep retirement doesn't always mean less stress. Worry about health, finances, or even sleep changes can leave the brain tired and foggy. You might be surprised to know that, according to the National Institute on Aging, more than 40% of adults over 60 report frequent issues with memory and focus. That's nearly half of all seniors in the US. But here's the hopeful part. Researchers also say that in most cases, memory fog is reversible. That's right. With the right diet and lifestyle changes, you can sharpen your brain and regain clarity. Think about it this way. Your brain is like a garden. When you're young, it gets all the water and sunlight it needs, and everything grows easily. But after 60, the soil gets dry, weeds show up, and growth slows. If you just leave it, the garden fades. But if you nourish it again with the right water, nutrients and care, the garden can bloom once more. Your brain works the same way. And here's where things get exciting. Scientists have discovered that certain foods act like miracle fertilizers for the aging brain. They boost blood flow, reduce inflammation, and feed your neurons exactly what they need. That's why some seniors who add these foods to their diet report feeling mentally sharper in just weeks. And in a moment I'll reveal the first of those foods. But before we do, it's important to understand the risks of ignoring memory fog. Because while it's not dementia, leaving it unchecked can open the door to something much more serious. So, let's talk about what happens if brain fog is ignored and why taking action now is the key to protecting your independence. Later, here's the thing about memory fog. On its own, it might feel harmless. You forget where you parked the car, or you can't remember a word in conversation. You laugh it off as senior moments. But ignoring it can be risky, because brain fog is often the first warning sign that your brain is under stress. 1. Slippery slope to cognitive decline. If you don't address memory fog, it can progress into something more serious. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CTDC, about 1 in 9 adults over 65 in the US already live with Alzheimer's or dementia. And for millions more, brain fog is the early stage, a yellow light telling you to slow down and pay attention. 2. Loss of independence. When the brain isn't sharp, simple tasks become harder. Forgetting to pay bills, misplacing medications, or even leaving the stove on can put seniors at real risk. The Alzheimer's Association reports that memory-related mistakes are a leading reason why older adults lose independence and need assisted living. And let's be honest, most seniors want to stay in their own homes, not rely on others for everyday needs. Taking brain fog seriously is one way to protect that freedom. 3. Emotional toll. Brain fog doesn't just affect memory, it affects confidence. Many seniors stop socializing because they're embarrassed about forgetting names or stories. This isolation increases loneliness, which the National Institute on Aging warns can raise the risk of depression, heart disease, and even early death. But here's the hopeful news. Brain fog does not mean your memory is doomed. Doctors now know that when you give your brain the right nutrients and support, it can repair itself. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and grow new connections, continues even into your 80s. Yes, you heard that right. Your brain is still capable of growing stronger, but only if you give it the tools it needs. Think about what's at stake. Your independence, your relationships, your memories, the stories you want to share with your grandkids, the confidence to drive safely, the joy of remembering a friend's birthday without checking your phone. All of that is possible if you take action. And the good news is, that action is simpler than you think. No expensive medications, no complicated brain training programs. Just 3 everyday foods, proven by science, that clear away brain fog and protect your memory naturally. The first one is a fruit you can buy at any supermarket, and it has been called nature's brain booster. Let's reveal it. All right, it's time to reveal the first food that can help erase brain fog instantly. And chances are you've already seen it in your grocery store produce aisle. It's small, sweet, and often called a superfood. Yes, I'm talking about blueberries. Why blueberries? Blueberries aren't just delicious, they're packed with a powerful group of antioxidants called anthocyanins. These compounds are what give blueberries their deep blue color. But here's the magic. anthocyanins actually cross the blood-brain barrier, which means they go straight into your brain and start protecting your neurons. The science behind it. Several studies prove just how powerful blueberries are for seniors. Researchers at Tufts University conducted a landmark study showing that older adults who ate blueberries daily had significantly improved memory and learning ability compared to those who didn't. A study published in the Annals of Neurology found that seniors who ate one or more servings of blueberries or strawberries each week delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. And Harvard scientists have shown that the flavonoids in blueberries improve blood flow to the brain, which helps with focus, alertness, and faster recall. In simple words, blueberries feed your brain the nutrients it needs to stay sharp. How they fight memory fog. So how do blueberries actually erase that brain fog? 1. Boost blood flow. More oxygen and nutrients reach your brain, giving you clearer thinking. 2. Reduce inflammation. Brain fog is partly caused by inflammation in brain cells. Blueberries calm that down. 3. Fuel neuroplasticity. They stimulate the growth of new brain connections, which is why seniors often feel sharper and quicker after adding them to their diet. How seniors can use them daily. The best part? Blueberries are incredibly easy to add to your routine. Toss a handful into your morning oatmeal. Blend them into a smoothie with a little yogurt. Add them as a topping on whole grain cereal, or simply snack on them fresh. Nutritionists recommend about 1 to 1 cup per day for noticeable brain benefits. And if fresh blueberries are expensive or out of season, frozen blueberries work just as well. Just make sure they're unsweetened. Now here's something fascinating many seniors report. Feeling the difference in as little as 2 weeks of eating blueberries regularly. Imagine being able to remember conversations more clearly, recall names faster, and feel sharper during the day. All thanks to a fruit you can buy for just a few dollars a week. But blueberries are only the beginning. The next brain-boosting food isn't a fruit at all, in fact. It might be sitting right now in your spice rack, and it has been studied by UCLA researchers for its incredible power to protect memory and even slow down brain aging. So let's move on to the second food, a golden spice, with centuries of healing history, now proven by modern science to boost memory in seniors. The second food that erases brain fog instantly isn't a fruit or vegetable. It's actually a spice. You've probably seen it in your pantry, glowing with a golden yellow color. Yes, it's turmeric. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine. But now modern science is proving just how powerful it really is for seniors' brains. The power of curcumin. Turmeric contains an active compound called curcumin. This is where the magic lies. Curcumin is a strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. And inflammation, as we learned earlier, is one of the biggest causes of brain fog. When inflammation calms down, brain cells communicate more clearly. That means sharper memory, faster focus, and less mental fatigue. Scientific proof. Let's look at the research. A UCLA study in 2018 tested turmeric supplements in older adults with mild memory problems. After 18 months, those taking curcumin showed significant improvements in memory and attention compared to the placebo group. Even their brain scans showed less buildup of the plaques linked to Alzheimer's disease. Another study published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology found that seniors who took curcumin performed better on memory tasks just 1 hour after consumption. This shows turmeric doesn't just protect the brain long-term, it can give a short-term boost in clarity as well. How turmeric fights brain fog. Turmeric helps in 3 key ways. 1. Reduces brain inflammation. Clears the cloudiness that makes you feel foggy. 2. boosts neurotransmitters curcumin, increases serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good brain chemicals that also support memory. 3. Protects against long-term decline. By reducing amyloid plaque buildup, turmeric may help lower the risk of Alzheimer's. How seniors can use it daily. Now you don't need expensive supplements to benefit from turmeric. You can simply add it to your diet. Stir 1 to 2 teaspoons of turmeric into your morning tea or warm milk. Add it to scrambled eggs or soups for flavor and brain health. Combine it with black pepper. This is important. Pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Without pepper, turmeric isn't absorbed well. For daily use, 1 to 2 to 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder is enough. Consistency is key. Just imagine, instead of forgetting names mid-conversation or losing track of what you are doing, you feel calm, focused, and clear-headed, thanks to a simple golden spice that's already in your kitchen. But here's the thing, we've covered a fruit and a spice. The third food is something completely different. It's crunchy, satisfying, and packed with brain-loving fats that actually feed your neurons. And many seniors are shocked to learn it works better than expensive fish oil pills. So, let's move on to the third and final food and nut that's been called brain food for centuries. And modern science confirms it really deserves the name. We've talked about blueberries and turmeric. Now, let's reveal the third food that erases memory fog instantly. It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and chances are it's already in your pantry. I'm talking about walnuts. Yes, those crunchy little nuts shaped just like a brain. And that's not a coincidence. Nature gave us a big clue. Walnuts truly are brain food. Why walnuts? Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. Omega-3s are essential fats that your brain cells need to function properly. Think of them as the oil that keeps your brain's engine running smoothly. They also contain antioxidants, vitamin E, and polyphenols, all of which protect the brain from damage and aging. Scientific proof. The research on walnuts and brain health is impressive. A large study from UCLA in 2015 found that adults who ate more walnuts had better brain function, including memory, concentration, and information processing speed. Another study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease showed that seniors who consumed walnuts daily had slower cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. Researchers at Rush University Medical Center found that diets rich in nuts, especially walnuts, were linked to a significantly lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. How walnuts fight brain fog. So how exactly do walnuts sharpen your mind? 1. Feed brain cells. Omega-3s strengthen the cell membranes of neurons, making them communicate more effectively. 2. Reduce inflammation. Just like turmeric, walnuts fight inflammation, but they do it with healthy fats. 3. Improve blood flow. Walnuts help lower blood pressure and improve circulation, sending more oxygen to the brain. 4. Protect long-term memory. Antioxidants in walnuts defend brain cells from oxidative stress, one of the key drivers of age-related memory decline. How seniors can use them daily. The best part is that walnuts are incredibly easy to add to your diet. Snack on a small handful, about 7 halves, mid-morning or afternoon. Chop them into oatmeal or sprinkle on salads. Add them to yogurt with blueberries for a double brain boost. Use walnut oil in cooking for extra omega-3s. Nutritionists recommend about 1:4 cup, a small handful, per day for maximum brain benefits. Imagine combining these 3 foods: blueberries in your oatmeal, turmeric in your morning tea, and a handful of walnuts as a snack. That's like giving your brain a triple shot of clarity, focus, and long-term protection. And here's the exciting part. You don't have to wait years to see results. Many seniors notice sharper thinking, better recall, and improved focus in just weeks. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at real seniors who have tried these foods and the scientific studies that prove they work. Now, I know many of you might be thinking, this sounds good, but does it really work? And that's a fair question, because when it comes to health, especially your brain, you don't want fads or gimmicks. You want proof. So let's look at real-life success stories and the science that backs them up. Real-life stories. Carol used to describe her mornings as walking through fog. She would sit down to read the newspaper, but by the third paragraph, she couldn't remember what she had just read. After learning about blueberries, turmeric and walnuts, she made them part of her routine. Blueberries in her cereal, turmeric tea mid-morning, and a handful of walnuts as a snack. After just 6 weeks, Carol told her daughter, "I feel like my brain woke up again." She could follow conversations more easily, recall appointments without sticky notes, and even started doing crossword puzzles again with confidence. Story 2. James, 68, from Ohio. James was worried when he started forgetting names at his church group. It made him embarrassed, and he stopped socializing as much. His doctor encouraged him to focus on brain-healthy foods instead of expensive supplements. Within 2 months of adding walnuts and turmeric to his daily diet, James noticed he was remembering people's names more easily. He said, "It gave me my confidence back." The scientific proof. 1. Blueberries. Harvard researchers found that seniors who ate blueberries at least once a week delayed cognitive aging by 2.5 years compared to those who rarely ate them. That means just one simple fruit can literally keep your brain younger. 2. Turmeric. A 2018 UCLA study showed that seniors taking curcumin, the compound in turmeric, improved memory by 28% over 18 months, compared to no improvement in the placebo group. Brain scans even showed fewer Alzheimer's-related plaques in their brains. 3. Walnuts. In a study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, seniors who ate walnuts daily scored higher on memory and concentration tests. Researchers concluded that walnuts may reduce the risk of age-related cognitive decline. When you put all 3 together, blueberries, turmeric and walnuts, you're giving your brain a powerful shield against aging. And this isn't theory. It's proven by top institutions like Harvard, UCLA, and the National Institute on Aging. Just imagine, instead of fearing memory decline, you feel sharper, more alert, and more confident every day. That's the gift of these simple foods. And now that you know the stories and the science, it's time to take action. In the final part of this video, I'll share exactly how you can start today. Plus, an important reminder that it's never too late to reclaim your memory and protect your independence. So now you know memory fog after 60 doesn't have to control your life. You've discovered 3 simple everyday foods that science shows can sharpen your brain: blueberries, turmeric, and walnuts. They're not expensive, they're not complicated, and they're available at any grocery store here in the US. The choice is now in your hands. You can keep living with the frustration of brain fog, or you can start adding these foods today and take back your clarity, your focus, and your independence. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning feeling clear-headed. You sit down to read the newspaper, and actually remember what you just read. You join a conversation with your friends and recall names without embarrassment. You feel confident again because your brain is working with you, not against you. That's what happens when you fuel your brain with the right foods. And remember, age is just a number. Your brain still has the ability to grow, adapt, and stay strong. Before we wrap up, I have a quick request. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps more seniors discover these life-changing health tips. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. Every week, I share simple science-backed health advice created especially for seniors in the US, from nutrition to exercises to everyday habits that keep you independent and strong. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. I also want to hear from you. Have you ever tried using blueberries, turmeric, or walnuts in your daily routine? Did you notice a difference? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might inspire another senior watching this right now who needs encouragement. Here's my final message for you today. Memory fog is not a life sentence. You are not powerless against aging. With small, consistent choices like adding these 3 foods, you can protect your memory, sharpen your mind, and enjoy the moments that matter most. Your best memories aren't behind you. They're still ahead of you. And by taking action today, you're making sure your mind is ready to capture every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay positive, and remember, your brain is more powerful than you think. I'll see you in the next video.